yo, I ain't from the hood, but don't judge. I'll leave your face looking scarier than the movie The Grudge. And though I'm not ghetto, I still get pissed. Like for example, here's a sample of the status quo. I'm at this college, but there ain't no more attractive hoes. Instead I'm in my room looking for some doggy porn. At least that's when I checked, I'd rather like it more than the girls at the Horn. The gallery where all the weird girls go for self-expression. Let me express myself, when I see you there's no erection. And maybe that is just an SAT score reflection, but I would rather thumb myself than 80-year random selection. And that's my thought, I guess I'm kind of a jerk, but frankly it's your faces, not the papers that need extra work. And it might just be me, fuck this thing called decency. My roommate ain't that hot, I'd still fuck Tommy G. I rep G-U-N-D until I D-I-E. And Zach Webb's standing crazy right next to me, and shit, he'll stab you faster than a running African. I'm done!
You know there may be 12 bars?
I met my roommate actually once before coming to school in New York. He was coming with his family for a trip. So we found each other on Facebook. I think he was my third friend on Facebook because I had made it earlier that day. So he sent me a message that he was coming through. So we met up, we got some food around Times Square and chatted up.
I did know who my roommate was through Facebook. His name was Tom Hardacker. He had just gotten Facebook. I guess Facebook was on the rise. And he had, my only impression of Tom was that he had posted, he was a baseball player as well, is a baseball player, and he had posted like, I'm gonna say 1,000 pictures of himself playing baseball.
So my roommate before school, I didn't know who he was, actually, and he Facebooked me about, probably 2 or 3 weeks before I got to Kenyon, and he had like the creepiest Facebook picture you could possibly imagine. He had like this big fire crotch hairdo going on and like sunglasses and shit, and it was, I was like 4 or 5, I thought I was gonna get some crazy dude in my room.
And that was, you know, in Facebook standards, pretty weird. So I didn't know what to expect. And he looked a little prepubescent.
I remember the first time I met someone else was Adam Tolstis friend requesting me, and his picture was an old dirty bastard, and I was like, who the fuck is this kid? And I looked at him, and it was some big fat Jewish kid, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be interesting.
So, me and Tom started talking on Facebook, and one day he called me. And I'll never forget the phone message he left me. It was priceless. He left me a message, and he was like, "Hey Adam, it's Tom, Tom Gebhardt, your roommate, for next year, and just wanted to say I'm really stoked to live with you. I was just at Walmart with my mom looking at some small area rugs. Give me a call back, should be great." So I was like, this is awesome. Like, my roommate is a big advocate for small area rugs. Our floor's not going to be gross looking. Things are going to be all right. And then from then, I realized the future was bright for Tom and I.
My first interaction with Adam was kind of a unique experience. I come in with parents that are overly ambitious and very organized, coming in with bags. My mom's unfolding all my stuff, being the typical overprotective mom that she is. Shake his hand, kind of sizing me up a little bit, and kind of goes from there.
Well, we got there 2 weeks early for football, so the only person I really talked to for a week was my roommate, Zach Webb.
Yeah, it took a little while to get to know everyone else, just because coming down to school early, everyone else that moves in when you're, when school actually starts, just kind of seemed like outsiders.
Thank God for the divider in Gund, because that kept all of his shit on his side of the room, and it was a fucking mess over there. I mean, it was awful. But I liked to play his reggae music, which was a little weird, but I dealt with it.
At first, I didn't hang out with the hall. I was kind of a little, I didn't really feel the vibe.
I just kind of remembered being like, oh, these guys all look like dicks. Like, these guys all look like assholes. I'm not gonna be friends with any of them.
Basically, we were both just unpacking the whole day that night. That was the first night. That was when there was that Akron blowout party. I went inside to grab him a beer. As soon as I came back, he was nowhere to be seen.
He kind of did his own thing. I kind of did my own thing.
I guess in a very, very much lacrosse, like bro, like I'm excited to, you know, lax it up at Kenyon setting. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember just being like, all right, like, we'll just move on to the next person.
I didn't know how well we were gonna get, you know, become friends.
Because during our meeting, like our first hall meeting, the thing was like introduce yourself and say your favorite sports team. And so I said the Yankees, and this dude was sitting right across from me, and he gave me the dirtiest look anyone has ever given me in my entire life.
And I was like, you know, these guys are cool, they're fun. You know, things should be good. I didn't foresee all of us bonding as much as we did. And the only thing I can think of is, damn it, Geb, you didn't lock the doors.
He took it upon himself to act as though he was a fatherly figure in the roommate relationship, often referring to me as little Geb and his son.
So lo and behold, little Geb and I walk in.
And we're all just standing around watching him. And it was classic because Tolsis goes, Geb, did you remember to lock the door? Open the door, balloons pouring out. I thought Gebhardt was gonna kill someone. Tolsis runs down the hall, tackles me, and then starts chasing Gebhardt out because their entire room is just fucked with balloons. 400
balloons blown up in the room. And you gotta keep in mind, Geb is not the largest man. So like when he walked in, it was like up to his neck, and he was just like, ah!
I really had no idea what that kind of meant because I mean he ended up being really the cornerstone of this entire hall.
He was like a funny kid because he's real quick. Like if you say something, he'll be real fast to make a joke out of it.
I mean, Gebhardt was definitely a central figure. I mean, because he's a nice guy, but you know, he's kind of goofy, and I get everyone loved him.
Because we'd always try to get Gab as mad as possible.
And that was an awesome moment for Hall Unity. Even though there were a ton of popped balloons on my floor a few days after that.
I remember Adam Tolsted's, him and Tom Gebhardt were definitely a unique rooming couple. They were like the man and the wife.
What I consider it, I would consider our relationship somewhat like if I was a shepherd, he would be a deviant sheep.
I mean, they were always in the hall. They always wanted to come play Call of Duty and hang out at their hall.
There really wasn't any reason to leave Gund, I guess. I mean, you go out at night and stuff like that, and you're out during the day, but I mean, Gund was a great place just to spend most of your time.
There were a bunch of kids who were, I'd say, part of the hall but didn't live in the hall.
We were so close as a group, and then our hall just worked so well together that kids would come to hang out in our hall. So it was more of kids coming to hang out with us than us going to other places.
Jamie Key was always around, and even all my boys, like, damn, your hall's the shit. Like, Carter was always coming by. You know, everyone would make a game out of fucking with Gebhardt. You know, they liked the hall dynamic.
It was eclectic. It was awesome. You know, we had super conservative Tom Gebhardt, Griffin, Colin, you know, a whole bunch of different kinds of people, and we all lived together and we all got along. Tom Gebhardt had 5 stages of anger. I don't really remember which ones were which, but it was something like T-Bone, Tom Bomb, I don't know the third one, and then there was like Uncle Tom where he started getting like offensive, and then Hurricane Tom, which was stage 5, I forgot stage 3, whereupon he would just lose his cool entirely.
He would get mad about something and not be able to cope with it correctly at times, and he would decide to, like, you know, go out of control.
Tom fell in love freshman year, and didn't necessarily work out for him.
I think one of the most memorable nights for our hall, and to me, as I remember, it kind of brought our hall together, even though I can't remember if this is exactly true. But there was one night I got back pretty late. It was a Friday or Saturday.
And Hurricane Tom entered Gund. Tremendous winds, inundations of rain. It was terrible. The electricity was like flickering. And he goes into the gun lounge and picks up a vacuum cleaner and throws it against the wall. And he's like, this is bullshit! And then he went to the bathroom, and the gun had this huge, like, full-length mirror where Tom decided to punch it, and it didn't break. So then Tom just like picked it up and threw it on the ground.
And I go to the bathroom to take a piss, and the mirror, it was just shattered everywhere on the ground.
We had to listen about her all the time. Got so old, he would always talk about it. But I remember, I feel bad for him, this is pretty shitty, but she got with somebody else and like, and told him to kind of go away, which I feel really bad for him. But that just set off what we like to call Terrible Tom. And Terrible Tom, he was not fucking around because he would just just throwing shit and just
that also spiraled Tom into his alcoholism.
Gebhardt was an alcoholic for a week.
I would say that there is a pretty solid relationship among the guys that live there. Whenever I see Toltzis kind of walking around, I'll just ask him how the Geber is, and he'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Or I'll see David and ask him how Terrible Tom is, and we'll all kind of get it. And even the guys that I see regularly, we'll sit around and talk about the hall every once in a while, like, you know, what Gebhardt's up to, if he's killed anyone yet.
I think you definitely get a different sense of that kind of a friendship that you make freshman year from your hall, because those are the first people that you meet when you go to a new place with so many people who you've never met before, and those are the people that you see most by far for the first few weeks. So that friendship is definitely real important, and I know that because they're kids that I didn't even think I would be friends with, that I still am friends with just from being in the same hall, and that's something that there's no other real way to do that other than your freshman year when you don't know anyone, you don't know where to go to hang out or anything like that, and you all kind of decide as a group.
You choose your roommates, and like that's fun, but you don't get anything new. You know what to expect. Freshman year, there was always the unexpected. I mean, it was also just first time being in college. A lot of people first time being away from home for that long, so just seeing first time college atmosphere was fun. But also now, I think for the past 2 years, I've lived with kids who are in my fraternity I'm with all the time, and it was nice just having my own group and then coming back to the hall and just having a total new group of friends to chill out, talk about the night, and then they actually didn't know what you did, and you had to tell some funny stories.
Still to this day hear people talking about this side of Gund and how much fun it was. There were great people in there, and great friendships were made.
I wouldn't classify it as like a high school reunion, because in a high school reunion there are a lot of people you don't want to see. I think of it more of like, when I think of Gund, it's like a great like camping trip you went on or something with a bunch of friends and you got like real close and had a good time, and it's just kind of, I don't know. I'd like to get the whole crew back together and hang out one night.
Hey yo, you know I had to step in on this one, right? Here we go. I guess I ain't that hard conventionally, cause I'm chillin' in Ohio for this college degree. What kind of rapper do you know took the SAT tipsy, but still walked away with like a 1360? And I don't sling crack or do anything heinous, but A-Train will still knock a punk right on his anus. Don't ever call me down like I'm old school white bread. I'm a major in English, so you know I'm well read. I used to be into Wu-Tang, now I'm into Confucius. Put your guns down, your books, cause without them you're useless. I ain't rapping, leave the hood just for creative release. To quote story, I'm out like fucking War and Peace. My IQ and GQ are close to damn to equal, and I know you like this song, just wait for the sequel. Man, you guys to hold your damn horses, cause it's coming, baby.